And welcome. So I'm really pumped because finally I have finished a project that I wanted to finish it for a long time, but I just didn't have the time and all the necessary elements to finish it. Now, what it's all about this project? This project, it's about, let me just show you, it's this lens. Oh, this lens, I think it has been a while, like maybe, 6 months or even more, that I bought this lens. This lens is the Fujinon TV zoom lens. And what it's called, it's that is far focal, meaning that when you are zooming in and you are fixing and focusing on a subject, when you zoom out, it will retain the focusing. And what was cool about this, zoom lens is that it has motorized zoom, focusing, and the aperture also. So that's just great. It can go to the maximum f-stop of 2.5. So it's not a very fast lens, but for zooming and outside, it's just amazing. And I did it. I finished this project now. So now, for example, I don't know if you will be able to see like this. Hopefully, maybe. But the idea is that I have a remote control and this is for aperture, right? So when I'm just hitting this button, the aperture is, but I don't know if you can see it. Let's try this way. Let me just put the manual focusing, this one. Let's see if I can. Okay, right. Now, so I don't know if you can see it, but there is the ring, the aperture ring that is moving. Now, if I want zooming, then you will see another ring there. I'm pushing the button and you see the zooming is moving. I can see it, so you can see it also. And then I have the focusing, so it will be this one. Look, you see the zooming is also working remote controlling. So the basic idea is that I can control with these three, like this, wait, like this. So these three, you see, so I have the aperture, the zoom, and the focusing. Maybe this is more, you see, aperture, focusing, and zooming. So this is really nice because I can this way, like control remotely. So imagine that I have already, the remote controlling for the start stop recording. So now I can go far away, frame myself, the subject, and then I can control if I want, because maybe the weather, if it's outside, is changing. So I can control the aperture as I wish. Then I can control, the zoom, if I want to punch in to zoom in or zoom out. And then I can control the focusing. So I can zoom in on a subject, and then I can focus on that subject, and then I can zoom out and still that subject will be in focus. So this is great. I am so happy that I finished this. Now, what I have to find something that I can, create some kind of board. So all of them are one next to each other. And then I can just play it like so. If I want, for example, this is what it's cool, because with this one you do not have an autofocus. So if you are, recording, for example, yourself, right? If you are recording yourself, then you are just, you can remote control the focus, the zoom, and the aperture, everything. And so all the thing is inside of this. Then you need just a source of current, electricity inside, and that's all. So yeah, but let's just see the test, because I haven't seen it also. I don't know how it's working. I did a bunch of tests. I went out on the riverbank here, and I just tried to see how can I, frame myself, feel myself. And I wanted to test out how the zoom is working. If it is usable, if I can zoom, punch in, punch out, direct on me, and if that is usable or no or not. And I wanted to make sure that the format that I'm using, there will be not vignetting, because with the C mounts and zoom lenses, that's the problem. I mean, with this one also, because it's a zoom lens and I have used it already before, I know that vignettes, I cannot use it in the crop mode, 1:3, 5.2K or 4.8K or 4.4K or 4.5K. I cannot use it. So it's eliminated the crop mode 1:3. And then, well, we have the 1:1. In the 1:1, I tried it out in the 3K format or 2.8K. But unfortunately, there's vignetting, a lot of vignetting. So it remained 2.5K, but the 2.5K also has vignetting. So finally, I'm using it with the 1280p in the format of 3:2. So let's just see the results.